All right, today we're going to talk about cardio, resistance training, and weight loss. What it takes, what you really need to do. Because I think a lot of people are overdoing it. Some are underdoing it. They just don't know what to do. And they think that more is more, and more is not more. So I know a lot of you are, this is a tough time. I have to do it when my kids are at school, or it's just, a three-ring circus here. So if you're watching this on replay, this will be up in the group. So just type in replay so I know if you're watching this on replay. But again, we're going to talk about cardio, resistance training, and weight loss, and what it takes to really lose weight, right? Because most people, their goal is weight loss. If your goal is just health and fitness, it's a little bit different. But if your goal is weight loss, you really want to follow a certain strategy with your cardio and resistance training. And many of you will be happy to know that my way of doing exercise is the least amount necessary. I truly believe you should do the least amount necessary to produce a change. And this comes from years and years of working with clients. I worked with over 1,000 clients in the health club industry. I was a certified personal trainer, weight loss coach, and I set up diet and exercise programs for my clients to help them lose weight. And there's a lot of variables and things you can change, and we would change them over time. And so I would work with these clients for about 12 weeks. Some of them I worked for several years. And a lot of you are familiar with, you work out and you start seeing a change and then you hit a plateau, and that's where changes came in. And so those are the things that I would change, and we're going to go over some of that today. So if you are someone looking to lose weight and you want to set up a complimentary strategy call, you can put strategy call in the comments or just send me a private message and we'll set that up. I promise you will leave this call with information that will help you on your weight loss journey, okay? You will absolutely get nuggets that will help you. So just put strategy call in the comments or send me a message and we will set that up. But let's get right into it. So when you are looking to lose weight, the biggest thing is you have to be in a caloric deficit. This is just a fact. Sometimes I get tired of hearing myself say it, but I think people need to hear it over and over and over again, because there's thousands of diets on the market that are trying to tell you otherwise. And every single one of these diets is lowering your calories, okay? They're putting you in a caloric deficit. They're just hiding it. They're hiding it with no carbs, intermittent fasting, juicing, drinking shakes and eating bars all day, whatever it is. And they're claiming, eat whatever you want, eat all the fat, protein, Atkins, all these keto. They're cutting your calories. They're just disguising it, okay? The law of physiology states energy in equals energy out. Okay, if you need 2,000 calories a day to maintain your weight and you eat 1,700 calories of Reese's peanut butter cups, you will lose weight. Okay, I don't recommend that. You will feel like crap. You will rot your insides. Your skin will be horrible. You will have no energy. Okay, you'll probably be starving, because even though it's, a lot of Reese's peanut butter cups, you'll be starving because you don't have any nutrients. But you will lose weight. That's a fact, okay? If you need 2,000 calories a day and you eat 2,300 calories of broccoli, which, God help you, that would be just an exorbitant amount of broccoli, you will gain weight. It's a fact. Calories in equals calories out. Take in more calories than you burn, you gain weight. Take in less, and you lose weight. Now, of course, within there's nutrient density, there's, foods that are better choices. But if you're looking to lose weight, you have to be in a caloric deficit. If you are gaining weight, you are eating more calories than you're burning. Bottom line, okay? The problem with, I think I've beat that one to death, I always do, but it's really important. You have to understand that you have to be in a caloric deficit to lose weight. The problem with most of these diets is they're dropping your calories so low. If you need 2,000 calories, they're giving you 1,200, okay? And what happens, and it doesn't take very long, is your body's gonna go, whoa, what's going on here? All right, let me slow down. Now your body's gonna learn to live on 1,200 calories. This is your new set point, 1,200 calories. This is now how many calories you need, okay? And you're gonna hit a plateau, right? You can't go down from 1,200 calories. I mean, what are you gonna eat, like a 2-year-old? I mean, who can eat? I think I would die if I ate 1,200 calories in a day. I'm not even kidding, guys. But anyway, I digress. So now when you go back to eating, say, 1,500, which used to be a caloric deficit, you're gaining weight. This is where yo-yo dieting comes in, okay? It's not sustainable. You cannot cut your calories that low. Your body will slow down. Your metabolism will slow down, okay? So here's the key. The key is to cut your calories slightly. Then you add in exercise to increase your needs, okay? So you're barely dropping your calories, 250, 300 calories, right? And there's this big gap. And now you can lose about a half a pound to 2 pounds a week. That's all you want to lose, okay? But that's where exercise comes in, right? So you need the nutrition side, right? And that's what I do with my clients is I set up menus, figuring out exactly how many calories they need, fitting in the right percentage of protein, fats, carbohydrates, so you have energy, you feel good, you're getting all the nutrients you need, you're not hungry, you don't feel restricted, right? But we need to add in exercise. And that's what I want to talk about today is the exercise component of this, okay? So exercise is going to help to increase your caloric needs. And we're going to talk about cardio and resistance training. But before we get into that, I want to talk about something else called NEAT, N-E-A-T, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is where you burn calories outside of the gym or if you work out at home, wherever you work out. And this is something I think a lot of people don't give enough credit to. And I was one of those people, I will admit 100%. So I worked in the health club and I was like, you gotta work out, right? I loved my workouts and I did them all because I worked at the gym. But I truly believe that was where I was burning my calories. And this is a long time ago, but we had this thing called the body bug, and it was, it would measure exactly how many calories your body burned all day long. And you would just wear it on your arm and it would just track your calories. And I will never forget this. I went to the mall one day, again, aging myself. I don't even think people go to malls very much anymore, and I am extremely indecisive and I don't like to overpay for things. And so I remember I was like on a mission to get like a new pair of jeans. And I'm walking all over the mall and I went to one store and then I went to another store and I tried on a pair and I loved them and they were great, but I was like, oop, but maybe they're less expensive somewhere else. So I go to the other side of the mall, try on pants there, go to the other side, right? Because we had like the 4 main anchor stores. And needless to say, I spent like 2 hours at the mall, running from store to store, trying on clothes, taking them off. I was exhausted. I remember that, but I got back and I looked on the computer to see what the body bug was. I burned 700 calories. My mind was blown because I'd never considered this before, right? That your activities can actually burn so many calories. If you go to the gym 3 times a week, right? You're going 3 hours. There's 168 hours in the week. What did you do the other 165? And too many people give too much credit to that gym time, to those 3 hours. Even if you go 5 hours, even if you work out 8 hours a week, there's 160 hours left. What are you doing in those hours? Right? And this was really eye-opening for me. And this is that non-exercise activity thermogenesis. I wasn't exercising, I was at the mall, I was shopping. But I burnt a freaking ton of calories, okay? When I clean my house, right? Like sometimes I just go like crazy and I like really deep clean my house. I can't even imagine how many calories I'm burning because I am more tired than when I go to the gym. Little things like walking your dog. This isn't exercise, but it's moving, okay? I will always park farthest away when I go to the store. I'm not that person who looks for the closest parking spot. I look for the furthest parking spot. It's silly things. I always take the stairs. Don't take an escalator. Don't take an elevator. I walk to pick my kids up from school, drop them off from school. I live 0.4 miles from the gym, but it's just extra steps. It's extra movement, okay? I will make multiple trips to go do things so that I'm just getting more steps in. There's a lot of energy you can burn, a lot of calories you can burn just being more active in your daily life. So pay attention to that as well as just what you're doing cardio and weight training at the gym. Your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. How much are you moving? Okay, are you trying to make life easier, or like I'm always thinking like how can I just be more active? Okay, so keep that in mind. But let's talk about weights and cardio. So my mentality on cardio and weights is, again, it's the least amount necessary to produce a change. Too many people, and this would happen when I was working at the gym a lot, right? They just joined the gym. They are so excited. They're gung-ho and they're like, no, I can do 5 times a week of cardio for an hour. And I was like, yeah, no, but you're not allowed to do that. I'm not allowing you to do that. And they're like, no, I can. And I'm like, okay, but if 3 times a week for 20 minutes is enough to produce a change, then it's enough to produce a change. That's it. And this was a hard concept for a lot of people to understand, is just because you're gung-ho and you're motivated and you want to do more, but can you maintain that forever? A, and what happens when your body adapts to that? Because your body will adapt. The body is very adaptable. It's always in survival mode. So if your body adapts to 5 times a week, 1 hour of cardio, where are you going from there? You're gonna do more? I'm like, who has time for that? Who wants to do that, right? So my mentality with cardio is the least amount necessary to produce a change, right? So if 3 times a week, 20 minutes is gonna get you a change, let's do it. That's it, okay? Then if your body adapts to that, then we can up it to 30 minutes, right? Or we can change the intensity. Or we can do a different mode, okay? So there's a couple things you change with cardio. It's the frequency, which is how many days a week you're doing it. The intensity, how high is your heart rate getting when you're doing it. The duration, are you doing it 20 minutes, 30 minutes? And the mode. Are you walking? Are you biking? Are you doing the Stairmaster? So whatever it is. You want to change, these are the variables that I would change up with my clients to get them results, right? When we found they were hitting a plateau, I don't want to change your calories. That's the last thing I want to change. I don't want to drop them more, right? We should find a good amount of calories and I should be able to keep you there. But there's a lot of other variables and cardio is one of those, okay? So if you're somebody who's always walking on the treadmill or running on the treadmill, and again, this is where my clients didn't like me very much. I was like, we're gonna get off the treadmill. We're gonna go ride the bike. And they're like, but I hate the bike. I'm like, good. Like, you hate the bike because you're not used to the bike because you don't do the bike. But that's what's gonna get you results. I had to do this for myself recently, right? I was always doing the elliptical at the gym. I just started doing the bike. I'm like pathetic on this thing. I'm like dripping with sweat. And this is, I'm not talking a spin bike. I'm talking a stationary bike. I never do the bike because I hate the bike. But I'm loving it because I'm definitely seeing a difference because my body's not used to it, okay? Unless you are training to be a runner, your goal is not to be good at it. Your goal is to be as inefficient as you humanly can. Does that make sense? I see this a lot with runners, right? And I get it, you love running, that's great. But unless your goal is to run a race, if your goal is to lose weight, you've got to change. Because what happens is a marathon runner, like if I went out and ran a marathon tomorrow, I mean, first of all, I would die, but I would burn so many flipping calories because I can't run. I don't run. I broke my kneecap years ago and I'm not a runner. So I would burn a gazillion calories running because my body would be like, what the heck's going on over here? Someone who's training and all the time, your body becomes very efficient and you don't burn as many calories. But if your goal is weight loss, that's not what you want. You want to be as inefficient as possible, okay? And to me, if walking is my cardio, walking works. Why would I do the pounding on my body to run? I don't want to be a runner. It's not my goal. I'm not striving to be a runner, okay? The goal of cardio is to burn fat, okay? So a couple problems I see with cardio is people overdo it, okay? So they're overtraining, right? And what happens is when you overtrain, you don't give your body enough time to rest. And this could be you're doing 2 hours at a time or an hour at a time even. You're doing it multiple days. You're not giving your body time to rest. Your body catabolizes, it breaks down its own muscle. You're going to lose muscle, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Muscle is your fat burning machinery. You want as much muscle as you can possibly have. And I know a lot of women get scared of this because they think they're gonna get bulky. I promise you, you won't get bulky. I look at these men at the gym, they're trying like crazy to get bulky and they have the hormones for it. We don't, and they're not even getting bulky. So we're not gonna get bulky, okay? I promise you. But a lot of people are overtraining, so they're breaking down their muscle. They're doing cardio that their body is so used to and it's just efficient. And it's like, again, how much more can you possibly keep adding? They're overestimating how many calories they burn doing cardio. They think like, oh, I did 30 minutes of cardio, I burned so many calories. And then like, if you really look at it, if you do 30 minutes, you weigh about 150 pounds and you do 30 minutes on the Stairmaster, you're maybe burning 200 calories. Like you didn't even burn a slice of pizza. So a lot of people overestimate how many calories they're burning doing cardio. And then they think, well, I can eat more because, I did all this cardio. Like, not really. Or they're hungrier because they did cardio. And what about you? When I do it, I'm like starving, right? So you want to eat more. So again, kind of setting yourself up for failure. And again, your body adapts, okay? So you need to change the duration, the frequency, the intensity, and the mode of cardio. So think of those things first. But let's talk about weight training. And I love weight training. And I didn't always, guys, but I love it because it's where you're going to see the differences in your body the most, okay? Muscle is your fat burning machinery. Now, there's different studies. Some say a pound of muscle burns 10 calories a day. Some say it burns 50 calories a day, okay? Let's just say it burns 25, right? For argument's sake. So if you gain a pound of muscle, you're gonna burn 25 extra calories every day at rest, just for having that muscle. This is why men have such higher metabolisms. They have more muscle by nature, okay? The average female's got about 28% body fat. The average male has about 18. They have a lot more muscle than we do, so they just naturally burn more calories because muscle burns calories. The downside is we lose muscle with age. And this starts in the mid to late 20s. The average person will lose a half a pound of muscle every single year. So between the age of 30 and 50, you're losing 10 pounds of muscle. Now, if it burns 25 calories a day, like we said, and again, it could be 10, it could be 50, but let's just use 25 because there's different studies. That's 250 less calories every single day that your body is burning at rest than it used to, because you've lost that muscle. And this is why people say, I can't eat what I used to. My metabolism is slower. It is, unless you counteract it with weight training. You have to lift weights to build muscle to counteract that. So you can. I've seen 65-year-old women start lifting weights and see a massive, massive difference, okay? Like Suzanne's saying, light bulb moment. But yeah, here we are doing our cardio, and a lot of times when you're doing cardio, you're losing muscle, you're burning muscle. This is also what happens on these low-calorie diets, right? I'm not a keto fan, and I've said this 1,000 times too. When you're cutting out carbohydrates, your body needs carbohydrates. Your brain can only run on carbohydrates. That's it. Your brain can't run on fat. And when you're doing exercise like resistance training, which is an anaerobic exercise, it's like bursts of energy, okay? Cardio is your aerobic, okay? And you can burn fat for that. Anaerobic, like a sprint, jumping, resistance training, okay? That's anaerobic. Your body cannot use fat as an energy source. It can't. So if you're not eating carbohydrates, you don't have carbs in your body, where is your body getting the glucose, which is what it needs to lift weights? Well, can't use fat. It's going to go into the muscle. It's going to take the amino acids, and through a process called gluconeogenesis, it's going to produce glucose, because that's what your body has to have. But you're breaking down your own muscle. So again, these no-carb diets, these low-carb diets actually can cause muscle loss, which is going to lower your metabolism more. And that's why, again, this is this yo-yo dieting, okay? You need carbohydrates, okay? You have to have carbohydrates, especially when you're resistance training. So prior to a resistance training workout, you want to eat your carbohydrates, right? Something like maybe like oatmeal with some protein powder in it. You could have some whole grain toast with egg whites, eggs and egg whites. Typically when I recommend eggs, I'll give like one egg and then multiple egg whites, all the proteins in the white, all the fat and cholesterol's in the yolk. So do one egg, 2 to 3 egg whites, tons of protein, have your carbohydrates from your toast, maybe some fruit, yogurt with fruit, right? So you want carbohydrates before you work out. When you go to the gym, what you want to do is you want to do a 5 to 10 minute warm up, get your blood flowing, right? You don't want your muscles to be stiff, because it's like taking a rubber band out of a freezer and like pulling it, it would snap. That's where injury happens. So 5-10 minute warm up, just get the blood flowing. Then you do your weights, then you do your cardio. And let's talk about why. So again, I just said resistance training can only use glucose and glycogen. Glycogen is stored carbohydrates, right? Glucose is carbohydrates, glycogen is stored carbohydrates, okay? That's all your body can use for weight training, okay? It can use fat for cardio, but if you go, your body will always pick glucose as its energy source because it's the most efficient, right? It burns like this. So if you go do cardio first, your body's gonna use all that glucose because it's just the most efficient, but you burn through it very quickly, right? So you're not burning fat when you do cardio, you're burning your glucose. Now you go do your weights, you've burned through most of your glucose, what are you gonna use? It's gonna go to the muscle, right? And now you're defeating the whole purpose. Your whole point of lifting weights was to build muscle. You're breaking down your own muscle for energy. So you always wanna do your weights first. So your carbohydrate stores are full, right? You've eaten a good carbohydrate breakfast, carbs and protein. Your carbohydrate stores are full. You're gonna have the energy to lift weights. You're gonna burn through that doing your weight training. Now you go do cardio and your body's gonna use fat as its energy source, as long as you're not doing too high intensity. You don't wanna do too high intensity. Now you're gonna burn fat when you do cardio, which is the goal of cardio. So you should always do warm up, then weights, then cardio, okay? That's how you want to do your workout, because you want to use carbohydrate stores for your weight training, and then you wanna burn fat when you do cardio, okay? resistance training, minute for minute, burns more calories than cardio. Another reason why I just love it, okay? And there's something called EPOC, exercise post-oxygen consumption. Your body has to repair all that muscle. Lifting weights, you're actually tearing down the muscle and then rebuilding it. Your body, it takes a lot of energy to rebuild that. Okay, this is why you don't do weights 2 days in a row, right? I mean, if you do like upper body one day, lower body the next, yes, but you would never do the same body part 2 days in a row because your body needs time to repair that muscle. If you do it 2 days in a row, you're just tearing it down more, okay? So, I talk so fast, I'm sorry. So, EPOC is exercise post-oxygen consumption. Your metabolism stays up for hours after resistance training. With cardio, it pretty much goes back to normal right away. So again, resistance training is burning more calories minute for minute. It's burning more calories throughout the day because of EPOC. It's keeping your metabolism up. And overall, it contributes to a higher metabolism because the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn at rest. This is why I am such a huge fan of resistance training. So resistance training can be weights, it can be bands, it can be machines, it can be body weight. You want to start with at least 2 days a week of resistance training. If you're doing full body, 2 days a week. Do, Tuesday, Friday, Monday, Thursday, whatever it is, 2 days a week. If you're doing split body parts like upper, lower, because you have shorter amounts of time, but you can get there more often. This is what I do. I don't want to spend a lot of time at the gym. I have time to get there every day, but I don't want to be there long. So I do different body parts, right? So I might do upper, lower, upper, lower. So I might go 4 times a week, but I'm only doing each body part twice a week, okay? But if you're just starting out, I would start with a full body workout twice a week, okay? And so think about this. And then cardio is 3 times a week, 20 to 30 minutes. So that means you literally have to work out 3 days a week, right? 2 days you're doing weights and cardio, 1 day you're just doing cardio. Like, that's realistic. I don't know a person in the world who can't fit that in, right? This is why, less is more, and you will see a difference doing that. And then when you do hit a plateau, then we can make changes, right? We can change the intensity, the duration, the frequency, and the mode of your cardio. We can change your weight training workout. But don't try to start out guns a-blazing doing everything because there's nowhere to go from there. Does that make sense? So, recap. Less is more, okay? You're not training your body to be good at, your cardio. You want to be as inefficient as possible so you can change your intensity, your duration, your frequency, your mode. If you're someone who's been, walking or someone who's been running, change it up. Get on a bike, get on a step mill, take a class. If you're someone who's always done a certain class, change it up. You've got to change it up. You don't want to be efficient. You want to be as inefficient as possible. You always want to do weights before cardio if you're doing them both on the same day. You want to eat your carbohydrate and protein breakfast before, whatever time of day you work out, within 2 hours before, so that you have those carbohydrate stores full. You can burn through them doing weights, and you're going to burn more fat doing cardio, okay? I think I covered everything. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. But you can also message me. You can message me. You can put questions in the comments, and I will answer them. If you want to set up a free weight loss strategy call, again, put strategy call in the comments or just private message me. It's completely free, 30-minute call, and I promise you, you will leave with information that will help you on your weight loss journey, all right? Weight loss is simple. It's simple math. If you know me, I'm a math geek. I love math. Weight loss is simple math. It's not easy, right? Because there's a lot of emotional things, and there's what do you eat? But it's a simple equation, right? So, and I think a lot of times also we're confused. What do we even do anymore? Because there's so much misinformation out there. So I try to make it really simple. Sometimes I'm like, wait, am I doing something wrong? Because it's so simple. But it's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. All right. So put strategy call in the comment or send me a message. We'll set up a free call. I promise it will help you. But hopefully this helped you a little bit with your cardio, your weights. And don't forget that NEAT, the non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Get those steps and be more active in your daily life. Don't look for, ways you can shortcut things and not burn the calories. Look at ways you can burn extra calories. Always take the stairs, park further away. It's little things, carry your own groceries, simple things, but it can make a big difference. All right, so I hope that helped. Have a great day. Message me if you have questions and enjoy your weekend.